I listened at the door as the ghoul directed the gun on my mother's face. A slave to the smokeless flame, puzzling gas to lacerate her face, making a mess of the woman where the muzzle's imprint could find shelter, controlling its pawn, the seed giver.
To your right, little beast. Take the prize back. This is Carcosa. You know what they did to me? What I would do to all the sons and daughters of man. You placed Bridget, the wall, acolytes, witnesses to my journey. Brothers, I'm not ashamed. Come die with me, little priest. I'm going to kill you. I want you to know that. But I want you to know I'm going to eat you. I am literally going to tear you apart and eat you. Keep in mind, it's not because I want to. I don't know why. But I have to. It's the way it's always been. Always. It keeps my mind straight. But how sane can you be in the first place if you have to fucking eat people? I don't know. Nature's crooked. I wanted right angles. Straight lines. You cut yourself opening a can of tuna and you die.
The Melodic Night.
The fusion of horror and politics.
It's alright. I've been hurt before. It's alright. You don't love me anymore. Maybe someday I'll find a way without you. Who am I kidding? It's okay. Baby, I can sing. It's okay. But will it make you happy? Maybe someday I'll find a way without you. Someday it won't be long. You're gonna find yourself all alone.
But a lot of people have asked me why. Why am I doing this? Why have I decided to go, I'm a vampire, I'm a freak, I'm a monster, I'm out of the ordinary? Why try to give a voice to such a absolutely obscure community? Because 30 years ago, there was another obscure community. And that community is near and dear to my heart because I'm a pangendered and bisexual male I love men, I love women, I love people, not, what's between the legs. I love the heart. I love the...
Victims and oppressors. Puritan men and women could assume roles associated with the opposite sex. Alan Turing was chemically castrated for being a homosexual. Now we just chemically castrate pedophiles and exhibitionists. Once Puritans ceased from being a persecuted minority, that changed. Bakers and photographers abnegated religious convictions. Power alters justice to injustice. It compresses freedom into enlightenment. We are both victim and oppressor equally, collectively living in the skin of a multifaceted personality, bridging deficient pathways to a serotonergic mind. Why try to give a voice to such an absolutely obscured community? Because 30 years ago there was another obscured community. It's not just me. Michael Vockmail, who not only describes himself as being a vampire, but also describes himself as being pangendered and bisexual, is making the connection between homosexuality, between bisexuality and pangenderism or whatever, the LGBTQ movement and vampirism. It's not just me, it's not just in my head, this is not hyperbole, this is reality. And he's not the only one that's saying it. This is from the mouth of the horse. So I'm going to read you a interview that I found on academia.edu. It's called an interview with Joe Laycock on real life vampires off of Top Secret Writers. Joe Laycock is an expert on religion and sociology with a bachelor's and PhD in religion and society. So in the interview, the interviewer asks Joe, he says, with saying vampirism in particular, do you think that it's ever possible society will no longer consider drinking human blood to be such a taboo and that the community might be accepted? Or do you think they will forever be rejected by the mainstream in general? Joe, I'm not optimistic. First of all, some people have such a strong aversion to blood that they faint when they see it. It is hard to imagine such a person being comfortable with sanguinarians. Second, some people thrive on an us versus them mentality. Not only can they not tolerate those who are different, but they can't seem to function unless they are locked in a holy war against some group that threatens their entire way of life. I am thinking of families who gave away their children's college funds to support Proposition 8 in California. This instinct was probably quite useful when civilization consisted of warring tribes, but it has no place in a modern democracy. It is likely that as the general public becomes aware of the vampire community, evangelicals will attempt to garner social capital by calling for a moral crusade to protect teens from vampirism. We have already seen attempts at this in the wake of the Twilight craze. This means that things may get worse for vampires before they get better. In 2000, there was actually a law proposed in Wisconsin that would have outlawed consuming the blood of teenagers. There actually had been a case where someone was convincing teenagers to cut themselves and feed him their blood. Such as person would not be welcome in the vampire community at large. The law didn't pass because no one considered it to be a serious problem. However, as awareness of vampirism grows, anti-vampire laws might become an easy way for conservative legislators to pander to evangelicals. This has already happened with anti-microchip laws. I think it is inevitable that there will be an important court case involving a self-identified vampire. Either someone will be fired for being a vampire and file a wrongful termination suit, or worse, Child Protective Services will take a sanguinarian's children and demand that they prove that they are not abusing them. When this happens, the U.S. legal system will have to set an important precedent about what vampires are. Right now, the only way our society can understand vampirism is as a religion or a mental illness. Of course, most vampires claim that they are neither of these things, but the law does not have a third category to put them in. Under the Constitution, vampires would have much better protection if they claimed to be a religion. So we have here a religious expert advocating the acceptance of a health hazard. It is totally wrong to sit there and try and present to the community at large that something like consuming blood is okay, that it's normal for some people. It's wrong. We shouldn't be telling anybody that drinking blood is okay. That is totally unsafe. And you've seen already the evidence that I've shown you that it's not healthy at all. There is nothing in our biology that allows us to consume blood, like we consume water. There's nothing that allows us to do that in a safe way. We would have something in our biology like the vampire bat does, where we can consume blood without, getting an overdose of iron. This is ridiculous. It's dangerous, and it's just out of hand. It's the homosexuality and stuff. I really truly believe, and you know what? And I don't agree with the LGBTQ thing, but you know what? I'm not about forcing people to do anything. I don't even vote against those things. I don't vote, period, because I don't believe in the system. However, I think it's wrong when some of the people over on that camp that have tried to force their way on us. That to me is equally wrong. So I don't believe in forcing my views on anybody, and I don't believe they should be forcing their views on anybody too. I just think it's wrong. There are certain things, people want to go get married, fine. I don't agree with it, but if you're of the same sex, or you're lesbian or homosexual, you want to get married, I don't agree with it, but fine, you go ahead and do it, as long as it's not affecting me. But when we get into the business of pushing things down people's throats, like things with the Elaine photography and the bakery situation and all that stuff, and things of that nature, I'm against it. So, and they mention evangelicals in this, and I don't really necessarily agree with them either, but I don't want something dangerous like this being pushed out into the world as if it's normal. So I'm going to leave it there. This is the Melodic Knight. Ghost Cholos, rulers of the universe. I'll see you next time. Peace. Arato.